great. And I think a lot of times we get to the point in our life or in situations to where that's good enough. It doesn't have drama. Therefore, if drama doesn't exist, then that means we're good. But that's not always true.
Mm,
Um, just the eliminate, like we have a mindset that we just only want to eliminate drama. And as long as we can exist in spaces together and we don't have drama, then we're okay. But isn't there opportunity for you guys to thrive? Can you grow from there? Like case in point, in the midst of conversation, I'm listening to you and I'm loving both of what you're saying because it was like tonality, tonality, tonality. But wait, does that not go back to emotions? And
mm,
if I am supposed to listen to how you feel, does not my emotions matter in the midst of conversation? So is not my tone an expression of my emotions?
true.
So should we not make room for both of each other's emotions in the midst of it? What is it about our conversation that drove the tonality in the first place? See, we got to keep backing it up, right? We
That's
don't just we don't
Yes.
just start when this is what happened. Let's talk about that. No, let's keep backing it up and discover the root of the thing because the root is actually the problem. And once we define the root, then that produces the fruit.
absolutely.
That's
So
good. That's good.
you tapped into I did a presentation recently this week on the power shut up, and it was to what you're saying. It was about why now I acknowledge or take note of when I am speaking and what I'm speaking about. If I am in my feelings and my emotions about something and I don't want that to come out, because I mean, to be honest with you, we could be having a bad morning and walk into our office, and the next person that says something to us that has nothing to do with what happened this morning is going to get it all. And because of our ego, we're going to actually attach it to something that they did, even though this really had nothing to do with them. So, and it's a never ending cycle. And it does come a time when we have to just accept what is. I love what you said. And you made me think. So I thought about this in the moment you were talking and said, okay, I'm taking this in because I was stuck on tone still. So I was still doing it. Whereas in that moment, he was probably responding to something I was given, so that's why the tone was what it was. So don't tell him no. I'll break it to him. If he tuned in, he ain't gonna tell me, but just don't tell him. So
I don't even know you yet, bro, but I got you. We in this together.
he over there saying, I know that's right. Tell her. No, I'm good though. I get that. And I just think, I like what Jane is trying to do. I know she's not here, so I really want her to understand it. I heard her when she said men are not the enemy. I got it, and they're not. And I think that one of her issues is that we don't hear that enough. So even if it's a group of women who understand that, the women to what you said, Dwayne, is the louder noise are those who are like, yeah, whatever, but a bad experience is what's really screaming out. And we've all had bad experiences on all sides. To me, that's also a self thing where you decide where you're going to keep. Are you going to keep talking about that one incident? How you didn't have no good experiences in life that you could talk about? When you think about it, you probably had some good experiences you could talk about too. It doesn't meet your narrative though.
And there's another aspect that we have to consider when we talk about decisions or experiences that people have had. They don't consider their aspect in those. They made the decisions. So in part, they were responsible for some of the outcome. So it's not just the experience you had, but what did you contribute to the outcome?
Yeah.
Or making the decision. And so we can't just say, I had this bad experience. Now it's time for us to go back and say, why did I have this bad experience?
Right.
What did I do to contribute to this so that I don't do this again and repeat it again? That's how we unpack and we learn from those lessons that we've had or experiences that we had. I know that was something that I had to learn to do, and it was uncomfortable.
Well, that was nice how you said that. It was uncomfortable. No, that stuff hurts. It hurts bad.
It does, but it makes us better. It's required. It's part of what we have to do because we're not going to grow if we stay there.
But there's the thing, we have to do the hard stuff. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of us don't want to do the hard work. We're going for the low-hanging fruit, whatever's easiest, whatever's comfortable. Because a lot of this that I went through to get where I am, it was not at all comfortable, and I didn't take it so well. So I can joke about it now, but I was serious as a heart attack when I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. So, what's the problem? And I mean, but I felt so much better when I was like, Lisa, that you a whole handful sometimes. Like, come on. And it's nothing wrong with acknowledging that you are not perfect, because the suggestion is, if you get mad about it, is you suggesting that you get it right all the time and that you're never wrong. And we know that's not true. So why even live in that space, when you like it, you don't know everything. So
we got to realize the clapback is real. Listen, we come from a community where the clapback is real. If it's available, it's coming. But I am an advocate of, and I think as we reflect on our lives, I think most of us fall in this category. We were supposed to do the work before we got to the space of saying I do.
Yeah.
And since we didn't do the work first and we said I do, now what we do is we hold our partner accountable for our insecurities. And so that's the issue. That becomes the issue within the space of relationship. So it becomes a jousting match at some times, which we don't even know, to where who's going to work on what and who's going to help me work on it. And I said I do, and we're supposed to be one, which means your transgression is my transgression. But that becomes part of the issue there, because I don't want to partake in that, and you don't want to partake in my stuff. And then next thing you know, I go out there and do something with somebody else that's ungodly, and now I become the enemy. But what you did not realize is that the stuff back here could have been the reason why I did not feel fulfilled and went out there and do that. Now, don't get me wrong. I still own my version of the action. I am not saying I am void of it. But the problem is that we forgot when we got together that we were working on becoming one. And we go into the relationship with this individualistic mentality. And you listen to it, and this is the part that really gets me. The so-called elders of our community, they teach that. They teach individualism in relationship. No, there's no place that you find that, only in the secular community. So how is it that we're teaching the right thing, especially the elders? How are we teaching the right thing when in all actuality, we're sending them down the same grave that we're digging for ourselves? So we have to look at it. We got to teach to go back and do the work. Do the work on self. You create, like, I can't go into a relationship with a survival mentality. Go look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Love and belonging happens after the basic needs. But if I did not do this lower level work, I go into love and belonging and I hold you accountable for those needs for me. That's not fair to my partner.
Absolutely. And it's really not, well, I can say that on this end. It's not as hard as people think. But I'm gonna give an example of something that was truly a hard test for us, but I know you're gonna laugh. But we were told, and I think this is great advice for people in relationships or dating. Okay, so you have a plan to go out on Friday night to go to the movies, but come Tuesday, there's been, as some of my friends would say, a fellowship that's challenging. They always call it something else but an argument. I just laugh about that. But they have this fellowship that's not so make you so happy. So now you're not interested in going to the movies on Friday night, right? That kind of kills it. But the advice we were given was, in those moments, still go. And of course our response was, well, what in the world? Why do I want to? I don't even want to talk to this person right now. Why do I want to go to the movies? But because we were willing to do the work, of course, mad and face all frowned up and everything, but we went. It was amazing to watch how just pushing through that thing, that of course it was the ego pushing you back. But once we got to that, you forget about what the issue was, because it really wasn't about anything. And I noticed that then we picked up other things that we would do, because we like to laugh and joke and play together. somebody will put on a comedy show or something that even though we're sitting in our own spaces on the edge of the couch, left and right, there's plenty of space in the middle, because we're actually laughing at the same thing. It just draws you back together, and then it breaks the ice. So we're able to have conversations because we're not mad about it when we're talking about it. So these things work. They're really not that hard to do. We make them difficult because we're really in our own way. So I now on this end of it, I can say, y'all, wait, why y'all tripping? Just but I do agree that I was like not happy with that advice. I thought it was awful advice. And why in the world would you tell me to go with somebody who I'm just like not happy with right now? But it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Environment matters. And I'm not going to let the child in me show up in the environment.
That's right.
Let's be honest. But let's go back and consider the conflict, because I believe that conflict is a beautiful train wreck. Like conflict existing in a relationship creates an amazing opportunity if you allow it to happen. One of the first things you have to realize is that my partner, just like the title of the show, my partner is not the enemy. So if you can keep that in the forefront of your mind, we just don't see this particular situation through the same lens. Right. That's okay, because here's the beautiful part about it. We're two different people trying to become one flesh. So now what we get the opportunity to do is share our perspectives, not force our perspectives to the other person. And if we can articulate why I see it the way I see it objectively and line it up with the thing that we say that we're going to pattern our life behind, and for me, that's the Bible. If I can share my perspective objectively and line it up with the scriptures, now if you're getting upset with what I'm saying, you're not getting upset with me, you're getting upset with the scriptures.
Well, well, then when you do that, it's like, what could I say?
And that was my downfall.
I'm like every time, so
I can't say nothing but go and do some work. That's
right.
That's all I can.
And I love this conversation. Thank y'all for joining me. I would love to continue this. I need to join into the Voice of Reason I'm not even going to tell you because you're going to see at the end of this, but I wanted to make sure that we do the word of the week and the tip of the week. And then we have a little TikTok moment, but there's also something else that you're going to see is connecting exactly to what we're talking about. But I actually appreciate you all coming up here. I'm hoping that her name is Jane McMillan, and I want to do my due diligence because there was some technical difficulty. She wasn't able to join on with the link, but it's Men Are Not the Enemy. She has really done a lot of leg work. I think that she does have some frustrations. I will honestly say a lot of it is coming from the women who are not understanding that this is not about that women aren't the enemy either. This is about, let's talk about why men are not the enemy. And then when we can split those up and deal with them individually and then bring it back together, maybe we can do something productive. Because I do want to ask a question, Dwayne, before we leave on what's at least one thing, and for the men in the comments, Business Pro, whoever's in the comments, one thing that women can start to do to maybe break some of that, the feeling of being criticized or being judged, was something we could do. But before we do that, I wanted to do the tip of, not the tip, but the word of the week for more giveaways. It might be socks, okay? Because somebody likes socks up in here. That's what I'm talking about. But let's do the tip of the week. Let me see if I can. Not the tip of the week. I want to do the word first. I do. So the word of the week is convivial. I hope I'm saying that right. Convivial. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Convivial. So the first person that can give us the meaning of that word in the comments will receive a gift. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You're just going to need to send your your address information to our email so that we can drop something in the mail for you. Could be socks, could be a book. But what is the meaning of convivial? And we got two people up here that were winning stuff last week. So they're giving you all an opportunity to win. And let me just remind you all, any of the things that I give away on the Power Shut Up podcast, I really like it. So I don't mind keeping it. Friendly. Absolutely. Crystal is the winner. Which is what all these people that are in here and supporting me, they're just the friendliest people. I thank you all for all of your support. And I think, yeah, she started, because sometimes I get it wrong. My eyes don't be working, y'all. But Crystal Everett is the winner. So congratulations to you. I also want to share the tip of the week. The tip of the week for this week is your face and gestures can speak volumes. So be mindful. You could be sending the wrong message. Nonverbal communication is still communication. And it's funny because I had an incident this week where we had a retreat at work, and I had ordered some lunch, and a young man came to the door, and I was trying to meet him at the door to save time, and I'm in a meeting, and I did have some confusion on why he was asking me what was my address, because I'm like, you're sitting right here, so I don't get it. But maybe my face said something that it shouldn't have said, and then he reacted to it. So then he's shaking his head and rolling his eyes and all that kind of stuff. So I thought about maybe my face wasn't right. Maybe I was a little confused. I really was. But I said, okay, Lisa, fix it. Our parents used to say, fix your face and watch your tone. So I kind of checked myself. And when he handed it to me, I said, thank you so much. And then he kind of came off, he took the edge off. And those are little things that we can do to kind of shift the energy, because sometimes it's us. And, my face says everything. I'm very transparent. I have big eyes that actually say things before I open my mouth, and I have to be mindful of them. So I've done a lot of work in these, Dwayne, I'm just going to say, in these 56 years, I have done a lot of work with this face and trying to make sure that I do not say something that I do not want to say. So that was just something, the timing was impeccable, because I said, okay, we did something with the power shut up, and now I'm being tested. I get tested all the time afterwards, like, wait a minute, after I do it, now you want to play with me?
Yes.
But I appreciate you all. I have a TikTok special message that I want to share to take you into next week. But before we do that, I'm actually, Sharif, I don't know if you know, it's the second one. I'm going to grab a little commercial that will give you some information about something going on next month. So let's share that, and then we'll go into the TikTok moment.
Connection Code: Questions Women Want to Ask Men, Part 2, backed by popular demand. Scheduled for Saturday, November 17th, 10:30 a.m. We're diving deeper into the hearts and minds of men, creating a candid and open space for honest dialogue. Please subscribe to the Empowering Perspective YouTube channel, Renewed Consideration YouTube channel, and you will get notifications when we go live. The hearts of men and the hearts of women are under the Empowering Perspective YouTube channel. We look forward to seeing you then.
And she didn't know nothing about that. This was not planned.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about what he did. He said last week, he said, you and Lisa ain't slick. How's she going to give you a chance to win? And I was like, what? Did she give me a chance to win?
It was last week, y'all. I seen it unfold right before my eyes.
See, sometimes it sneaks in because I just want to give people stuff. So I'll be like, I got you. So everybody who tunes in here is probably going to get an opportunity.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I try to catch you on Saturdays if grandbaby is here this weekend, but I still want people to know to tune in. And so I really liked when you said that you all were just talking about this. I'm hoping that I can bring you all on. This was perfect because I had already said I needed to reach out to you all to come on here and have some conversations about all kinds of topics. I talked about subconscious that I really want to get into. This was perfect timing. I'm hoping that we can get Jane back in here and still pull you all in, because we got room. We got room in the end. I'm just telling you, there's room here for us to have some really good conversations. But before we go and do the TikTok moment, is there something that the men can share that women can start doing so that we can understand and start to pull in those other women who are challenged with this thought that men are not the enemy? What can we start doing? Just one thing to just start things off.
I don't really want to sound cliches, but become part of the solution and not the problem.
Okay.
And I think what that looks like, especially for men who are looking to unite our community, because I'm a real big community person. Um, some just ask, like, how can I help? How can we help? Like, just the fact that you were going to have this I got excited when I heard you announce last week that this was going to be the topic, because I was ready. I was going to be sitting right here, lights off in the dark with a pen and a piece of paper. Because let me be transparent. Unless the men have garnered a large following, you will get a following faster than we will, because the social media community flock to women. It is what it is.
Mhm.
So if they just ask, like, how can we help? How can we support women? How can we support men? Like this particular show, there's other people out there, women who are actually now being a voice and an advocate for men for the sake of unification. Like that must be the goal. And just like it works the other way around. Just like if we're walking down the street and I see something happen on the other side of the street where I feel a woman's life is in danger, I should feel moved to go and help.
Mhm.
Right. So that works both ways. Like women protect men and men protect women. So we just got to find a way to get that back into our culture and re-energize that, just re-energize that mindset.
I thank you for that. And I think that that's hearing it first and then acting upon it. I think Lisa's already doing that. You already doing that. And I would like to shout out that Jane's doing that. She's done some of the legwork. She really feels passionate about putting the message out there that men are not the enemy. So I know she was really frustrated not being here. So I'm hoping this represented her well. And we'll definitely get her here. So I want to leave you with this TikTok message that I think motivated me. It's just something to think about to take you in the next week. And remember, we come here live every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, The Power Shut Up. Thank you so much. I needed this because I told you this week was sometimes I'm good and then other times it's a little weird. But I will be getting some rest and probably I'll be getting some rest. I know some people are saying, yeah, right, whatever. But this was an important conversation for me. And I figured as long as I'm sitting still and not trying to do no cartwheels, I should be okay. So let's check out this moment before we say goodbye. And then I do want you all to share where people can tune in, what days, and check out what you all are doing on here as well. So hold on just a minute and we're going to share this.
Evil is winning everywhere. It's because too many people who God has commanded and called to do something are still sitting in their I can't. By faith, everybody, if you're sitting down right now, stand up. At your job tomorrow, some of y'all just gonna be standing. You're gonna get a stand-up desk. What you doing? I'm standing up. I mean, just by faith, hold hands with your husband and your wife. We standing. I know we live in a community with poverty right now, but we gonna buy this community one day. The only reason God put me here is so I could see the depravity and know that I'm the answer for this. No, I had to struggle to get through college so I knew what it felt like. So then when God blesses me, I'll start a college fund. You're not famous, I'm funded. I'll do whatever God asks. Stand up. Y'all sit down. Is it that easy to make you fall off for what God told you to do? Oh, is it that easy? Oh, is it that easy? If somebody just tells you, I said stand. That's all it takes is one person to say, I don't like your idea. Nobody's ever done that before. You can't lead a multi-ethnic church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout at me one more time. Stand up.
So just a little message to take you through the week. Hopefully it'll motivate you, pull out what you can from it. But I want to thank you all again for tuning in. And thank you, Lisa and Dwayne. But please let everybody know where they can find you and the amazing things that you all are doing. I tune in every week as much as I can, but they got a lot of stuff going on. You all really need to connect with them. So please share.
That is him. Got a lot of stuff going
on. You too.
Well, I do try to, I'm thankful to be a part of the Empower Perspective community where there is a lot that we do in the community and the focus is community. We come together, like-minded people, and want to grow our community, and we want to help each other. We have there's a group of us who have a heart to want to help each other. And so I am doing the Hearts of Women podcast, which that was given to me to do. I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm still learning in this podcast environment. I enjoy it. The Hearts of Men, podcast, and so we spend a lot of time just developing and growing and learning and coming together just to encourage each other and strengthen each other as we go on this journey together. That's what we spend a lot of time doing, and it's been beneficial. So anyone who wants to be a part of an environment that wants to grow, that's positive. We're not about no foolishness. We just want to continue to encourage each other and grow together.
Absolutely.
I guess you're waiting on me now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, your turn.
I don't like talking about myself. Okay. Where do I start? So I'll pick up where Lisa left off. So the Hearts of Men podcast. It is a podcast that me and old Army buddy of mine talked about, and we came up with the idea. And the notion of that podcast is to kind of create an environment where we can talk about things that young men are going to encounter. Like if I could go back and have a conversation with my 20-year-old self, what would that conversation look like? So if you name it, we talk about it on that program. Everything, the finances, to relationships, to parenting, all of that great stuff. And that airs on the Empowering Perspective YouTube channel at 8 p.m. every Friday night. It goes from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And then on Saturdays, the third Saturday is the Hearts of Women, like you just heard Lisa say. And the fourth Saturday, which is the fourth Saturday, which is the Reframing the Image of Relationships. It is the whole conversation is about relationships, and we try to base that conversation strictly off of biblical perspectives. But by that same token, we also have panelists who do not necessarily follow the scriptures so closely, and that's okay. That's the main reason why my YouTube channel is titled Empowering Perspectives. Like, we need to be able to hear other people's perspective, even if they don't believe like us. Sunday, as you know, Sundays at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, we have Sunday brunch. Myself, the voice of reason, rolling down the street, Tawami Gaddy, Miss Nodella, and anybody else we can get to join us on the panel. So, Dr. Lisa Dove Washington. But we talk about life challenges from the perspective of the scriptures. And so I think it's a very good conversation, and we take just the struggles of life, and we see what the Bible says about it, and we get everybody's point of view and things of that nature. And I think it's good. On Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have what is called Coach's Corner. So it's myself and another John Maxwell certified speaker, coach and trainer. We talk about things, leadership. But the beautiful thing about it, I talk about leadership from the perspective of like corporate America and things of that nature. And he tends to talk about leadership from the perspective of the family dynamics, because that's the first hint of leadership. So we tend to bounce those back and forth, and it's a beautiful conversation. I love it. That's just it.
I told you.
Oh, and the website, www.totalmindsetshift.com. We have a message board over there. We just put in send empowering messages. Everybody can contribute to it. And again, it's www.totalmindsetshift.com/groups. And, we just invite everybody over so that we can continue to build our community based upon what his intention was for it to be.
Thank you so much. It's an amazing space. You all please connect with them, drop in and check it out. It has blessed me in so many ways. And they're doing so many things. They're being very humble. But it's powerful conversation, and everybody in there is at different spaces in life. So they grab what they can. Nobody's afraid to ask questions. It's a very safe space to really talk about what's going on. And I mean, I know that keeping it real is relative. I really know that because I talk to people about keeping it real according to who. But you really do. And I think that these conversations and the topics that you all are talking about are all the things that I'm interested in and will bless you all. So I hope to see you all in the room when you get an opportunity. And I thank you all for coming up here and helping me out. And I look forward to bringing you back often. If you all will have me with you here. The Power Shut Up podcast appreciates you, and thank you continuously for your support. We out here trying to make a positive difference, and this is how we build and grow. Because there's some noise out there that we're pushing against, but I think we got some good stuff going on. So
I wanted to mention one other thing.
okay.
Now, now you got to talk to Coach about him writing his book. Okay.
It sounds like that's an overdue project.
It is. I literally have like 3 books tossed around in my head. Titles. I literally created like an image for one that came to me the other day, and it's like, yeah, this, I need to do that one too. So I got some work to do.
You absolutely do.
Thank you, Lisa, for putting me out there.
Look at God. I'm telling you,
accountability.
But no, this is good though. That's good. That's what we need. I think we hold each other accountable for mess, as opposed to holding us accountable for the things that can bless other people. So I greatly appreciate that. Well, I just want to say this before I mute my mic and let you do what you do. You know, this is what we need to do. I'm talking to everybody out there in the video sphere. This is what we need to do. I think right now a lot of people are moving through the lens of scarcity, and they're acting like there is a limited supply. Stop listening to the news. Stop listening to those people. They're poisoning your mind. We worship a God that has unlimited resources. He is the source of everything that we do. Therefore, if we really and truly do believe that, he has more resources than we can ever imagine. So that being said, let's support everybody. Like, I love, and I'm saying that because you do it so awesome. I like the fact that you just come on here and you just promote people. You like, get these socks. Next thing you know, you get this book. Next thing you know, get these, you know what I'm saying? I got this garden tool. Like, where did you get the garden tool from? Like, how do you do that? Like, it's always something. And I want to give you your flowers right now. That is an awesome quality about you.
Oh, thank you. I want everybody's feet warm. Like, no, no, but I really do love giving. And Shariva, well, thank you, Lisa, for sharing the book thing, because Shariva's behind the scenes. She's a part of everything that I do. I thank her so much. So that's what she's proof that millennials and Gen X's, we can work together. Absolutely. She keeps me grounded. I keep her grounded, but she's part of the publishing team too. So she has heard.
She heard
all rolling. So thank you so much. Look, I'm going the wrong way. Gotcha. But thank y'all so much. I look forward to seeing you. We're actually not going to have a show next week. I'm going to spend some time with my grandson and family. But we're coming back in November to for some more guests before we kind of break for the holidays, because I am all about spending time with my family during the holidays. And you will be seeing Lisa and Dwayne again. So get comfortable. But thank you all so much. Thank you for Michelle, Business Pro Special, Nodella, Crystal, everybody who's tuned in, and please continue to share. That's how we make this happen. So appreciate y'all. Y'all hold on just a minute. Don't get off.
Okay.
We'll see you next week.